Hey there, wonderful souls, and welcome to today's message, coming straight at you from a really empowering journaling session that I've had this morning that has inspired me to share this insight with you guys today. So in the hope that it resonates as per usual with you as a human being on your personal development, transformation, self-realization journey that you're on, to live the best life that you possibly can, to make sure that you are guiding and directing your life from your deepest integrity and authenticity, and you are living your own life and not living to the shoulds of others, but actually today's message is all diving into the coulds, the possibilities of your limitless potential, and to enliven you and tap into an untapped energy source that you have access to with some conscious awareness. And my hope is that exactly what we're diving into in today's topic will really help you to do just that, and open up and maybe just get off this path of energy drain and going down paths that are uninspiring, and almost feeling as though, like I'm going to share with you guys today, if you've had the experience of feeling just absolutely exhausted, and maybe you don't even feel as though you have a physiological reason to feel so exhausted. Maybe, you're just like questioning, like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling so depleted? Why am I feeling so drained? Like, maybe you have some answers for that, and maybe today's topic will actually open you up to exactly where this actually might come through for you to actually get a deeper insight into what's going on in your internal world that may or may not be actually draining your energy and costing you the momentum of moving towards the things that you want to do in your life. All right, so this is kind of a bit of a reset button, today's message, and I'm going to share with you guys the topic of whether you're feeling drained. If you're feeling drained, this is a great one. So whether you're feeling drained right now, or you might feel drained in the future at some stage down the track, I want you to remember today's message, because my hope is that what we're going to talk about today will really help and support you to empower yourself and re-energize and get back your vibrance. So today it's all about swapping your shoulds for coulds, and feel your energy return. Okay, so what happened for me today? If you guys watched my video yesterday, I kind of spoke into how I was having this really flat day. I started a new challenge at the beginning of this week for 8 weeks. Pretty intense. I mapped out a whole plan for it, had all these inspiring things in all levels of my health and well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? Like all taking care of all the bases. And I injured my back in the first week, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. I also got declined from something that I was wanting to apply for. That kind of another bit of a setback. And all these things I was kind of on the surface level dealing with pretty damn well, right? And showing up and doing my best. But under the surface and underneath, all of these accumulating negative thoughts or limiting thoughts or held back points of view had been kind of collecting. And that's why sometimes you don't even realize what's going on in your internal world if you're really good at knowing consciously what you should do and taking part in those actions. But sometimes, like myself, I can fall asleep to what's actually going on really subtly and quietly in my own system, because on the external, I'm ticking the boxes, right? And so what's happened for me, and this has happened many times, and it might have happened you might be able to resonate in your own life, but what's happened for me is the accumulation of all these little subtle limitations in my own system get to a point where they wipe me out physically. All right. And so yesterday, having that really like overly exhausted day, I was like, what the hell is going on? And if you watch my message yesterday, I just got out into nature and just kind of took my mind off all the, oh, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, and just magnifying and amplifying that experience and kind of locking it in. I just got a healthy distraction and got outside, went for a bike ride, went to the beautiful rainforest, took in a bit of nature, and just shifted my mindset and my way of being by changing my environment, right? And having a healthy distraction. But what I went to sleep, I've had really great sleep, so I should be really like on point. This morning I was just like, I just knew I've got some emptying out to do, right? Like there is so much going on in my internal system that I'm not even aware of it, right? Because it's kind of like just amplified and just kind of all merging into everything. And I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to say no to the schedule right now. I'm just going to give myself what I feel I need, which is just an emptying out process. And sometimes you might want to use this as a tool for yourself, but sometimes when I get to this place of just like, oh, I just feel exhausted because there's so much going on in here. It's pulling me in every which way direction, right? Like a tug of war in every different direction, that I feel just stuck, right? I'm not going anywhere, but there's so much going on, right? So many different thoughts. And for me, they came down to a lot of shoulds in my system. But, you know, today I sat down, and the process that I often go into is a dialogue process. So you know, it's you and your journal, right? And sometimes you need somebody to hear you, to really hold that space for you. And maybe you don't have that person in your external life, or maybe you're just building your relationship with yourself. So you want to develop that muscle. So I oftentimes use a dialogue process in my own journaling when I am feeling like, hang on a minute, I just need to like let this all out and, you know, and just see what comes. It's like an emptying out process rather than, you know, cool insights and finding solutions and stuff. It's just actually an emotional dump in a way. But you're not burdening anybody else in your external world. You're able to put it in this dialogue format in a journaling process. And you sometimes, you know, you might want to direct it to somebody. I went through a 7-day retreat, personal development retreat, which every day we focused on a different emotion and emptying out. And it was a silent retreat, but it wasn't like one of my previous, you know, Vipassana silent meditation retreats. It was more silence with journaling, and we did a lot of dialoguing with love, right? And so you can use that. It's quite good because whatever that is for you, right? Like you can dialogue to any kind of, like you could dialogue to wisdom, right? You could dialogue to love. You can, whatever you're seeking from that holding of space for your internal world, oftentimes love just works, because what's love? Like it's going to hold you in an unconditional, all-inclusive, loving, nurturing, caring, wise kind of way, right? It's very empowering, that energy. When you meet things with love, there's always a solution. And oftentimes a solution is just in being the heard, being felt, being seen, unconditionally, without judgment, right? And so that's something that I can oftentimes, if I need that kind of dialogue process, I might start out like writing to love, right? And then love will answer, right? It's a way of accessing your higher self, but allowing fully, you know, that fearful self to come through and just express and be seen and empty out, so that it's not taking over really like under the surface in those kind of subdued kind of ways that can be really, you know, can get into everything, right? And start really being the driver of the car without you knowing it. And so that's what I did this morning. I dialogued with love and I just let it all out. Like, I'm feeling this, and I just let it go. And then all these different thoughts, you like, the process is just dumping it all out without judgment, without question, without trying to filter it, anything like that. Just allowing everything that's been accumulating in your own internal world to come through. And what I found was there were so many shoulds. I should have done this. I should be here. I should do this. I should have handled it this way. All this should, right? And what happens with shoulds is it's kind of like, and what I discovered through this emptying out process, my experience was every single should was like I wanted to almost rebel against, right? Because the decision was made. There was no free choice. There was no free will. It should, right? It's already decision made for you before you had a word, right? So that's what shoulds carry the energy of. They also carry the energy of expectation. So even if you complete the should, well, you should have, right? And so there's no possibility of celebration, right? Because it's an expectation, right? You can either have an expectation, or you can have the free, from a should, or you can have, a free kind of possibility of moving forward, and then you get to celebrate that, right? But we don't celebrate things that are expected, right? Think about that in your own life. If you expect somebody to do something and they do it, you're not really celebrating them, right? Like, well, you should have done that. And the same is true for ourselves. So I had this whole bunch of shoulds on my page. I should have done this, I should be here, I should be, all this stuff that had been accumulating under the system, like just dumped on this page, and realizing like how limiting that felt to me, right? The decision is already made because you should, right? I don't have any choice in the matter. And if I do it, it was expected anyway, so there's no possibility of celebration. And what came through as I let love, dialogue with me, was she just advised me to swap my shoulds for coulds. Now, what I mean by that is, I just did that basically. I went back through all this brain dump. Wherever I saw a should, I actually just rewrote it out in my could list, right? I should have done this. I could do this, right? And I swapped them all for coulds, and every single one, there was just this opening, this expansion, this release, because instead of expecting myself to do something that I have no choice in, right? Instead, I transformed it to, oh, I could do that thing. That's a possibility here. It opened up my own free will, my own freedom of choice. So it settled the rebellious part of me that just wants to escape that. It actually opened up this more inspiring, energized part. I could do that. That's actually a possibility for me. If I choose to do that, I could do that, right? And then it also invited the possibility for celebration. If I do choose to do something that I could do, and it opened up the realm of the result being celebrated. Rather than if it's a should, I have no choice, have to do it, and if I do it, it was expected anyway, so get on, keep doing what you should be doing, right? Instead, now all of those shoulds I've actually rewritten in my own system to coulds. There's a possibility there. And then that's up to me to check in. Is that something that I'm inspired by? Does it give me energy? And I'm at choice point. I get to choose and determine whether it is that I want to do that thing, because I could do it, right? Or, no, I don't actually want to do that thing, but at least I'm at choice point now. Now I'm empowered. And now whatever I choose to do, which is a could for me, now there's the possibility of celebration as a result, because I'm the one making those decisions from a place of conscious inspiration, right? And it also helps me to wipe the slate clean of the things that just do not inspire me, that I've been expecting and shooting all over myself about, right? And instead, I get to just consciously, I've looked at that. I could do it. I choose not to, right? That from that empowered place that is protective of my energy, that wants to generate higher amounts of inspiration and fuel and energy, and certainly not succumb to shoulds and expectations that actually squash my system, right? I want to move those towards those coulds, those possibilities, that choice point and celebration, all right? And so I'm really hoping that what I'm sharing with you guys today just gets you thinking, and I'd invite you to just, if you're feeling a bit energy drained, whether that's now or down the track, you know, even if you're not really, you might as well catch the baby, you know, before it becomes a monster, right? Because we all have these underlying little gathering, little subtle ways that sap our energy, and they often are connected to the shoulds that we place upon ourselves. And so my invitation to you guys is to, once you get off here, just write a list of all the things you think you should be doing right now, right? In your life. Maybe there are things that you think you should be somewhere that you're not right now by this age in your life, or whatever it is. You should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be, and maybe some of those things aren't things that you actually want to do. But if you're bringing a should energy to them, I guarantee you they're sapping your energy. They're robbing you of your freedom of choice, and they're robbing you of the possibility of celebrating a result that you follow through on because it's expected with a should energy. So my invitation, write out all the things that you feel you should be doing in your life right now, or you should have done by now, right? And then I want you to take that list and empty out, right? Just hold that space, empty it out. And then I want you to go back to that list, and I just want you to convert every single should into a could, right? And with no time frame, right? If you had a should that said, oh, I should have been at this point in my life right now. It's not I could be at this point in my life right now, or in the past, I should have done this in the past. It's not I could have done this in the past. It's all present. It's all just time. Take time out of it. Just take what the thing is that you are expecting of yourself and just write, I could do this, right? I could be this. I could do this. No time element involved. Feel the sense of freedom from just accessing that could mentality rather than the should limiting mindset, right? And then from that place, now that's going to work magic already, right? That's the setting your energy free. And now what you want to do is go back through that and just go, yeah, I could explore the possibility, get curious, right? Get curious about that could. I could do that. Is that something that energizes me? Or is it something that doesn't really, right? And so this is a process of just narrowing down what you want to do and being at choice points so that you get that access in your system to deep inspiration in your core. And then anything that you follow through from a could, from a possibility mindset, anything that you follow through on from that place and you attain the result of, now you're really going to be able to celebrate that. Because if it came from should, even if you get it, it's like, well, I expected myself to do that. Other people expected that of me. There's no celebration. I should have done it anyway. So what's next, right? That's what people get stuck in when they're setting themselves tasks or goals or, habits, right? They think they should do it. And so there's no celebration. There's no longer a choice. And oftentimes our systems will rebel against that. Okay. And so you always want to make sure that what's going on inside of you is coming from a possibility mindset, a freedom of choice place. That's how you're going to tap into your inspiration and know that you can celebrate your wins along the way because they're coming from this choice point, this limitless kind of potential mindset rather than limiting yourself with those shoulds and draining all your energy. All right, so I definitely want to check in with you guys and see who's been able to join me today. Hope this message has served you. It's definitely working in my system right now and today, and just kind of discovering this within my own self, just a new layer of it, right? And I hope that you'll give it a go, and I'd love to hear from those of you who are going to give this process a go and empty out all of your shoulds and see and feel the difference when you convert those shoulds to coulds. Put yourself at choice point and follow through from there. You're going to be able to celebrate your wins rather than when you get there and then it's expected and then you just feel like, what's next? This is empty. All right. So there's a real difference, but it starts from the inside out. All right. Let me check in. I've got Dor and Phil and John and DB. Hello to you, and Nizam and DB. I'm loving that you are finding that this is perfectly said for you, and you're so welcome. Thank you so much for showing up again. I always appreciate you seeing you guys back. So thank you so much, DB. And Davey's here as well. Awesome to see you all. Hope today's message served you. If there's anybody in your life that you feel could benefit from this message, please do share it with them. I love connecting with other exceptional souls just like yourself. Yeah, hope that these messages are definitely serving you. So much love coming your way. Hope you're doing something amazing with your day, and I'd love to hear from those of you who are willing to give this process a go and swap your shoulds for coulds, so you can feel that sense of energy as you get yourself back again and you tap into your inspiration and you guide your life in such a way that you can actually celebrate the wins. All right, so that's my gift to you if you'll receive it. All right, much love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.